Yo, 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 this is your boy Ace Kennedy coming to you live from 778 Music Group. And I'm sitting here with one of the most prolific producers here in Oklahoma City. Yo, this is my boy Reggie Ganther. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Good. You know you gotta talk to the mic.
Oh, my bad.
So, we go way back, Reggie.
All right.
It's been over 12 years. Long time.
Don't tell my age.
Oh, no, definitely not. But, I just wanted to basically just have a conversation with you so that we can, let some people know who may not know you what all that you do. So what is 778 Music Group?
778 Music Group is a production company that I started back. See, that's a rough question. Because, whenever you're independent, a lot of times you don't mark down. I wasn't a date marker downer type person where I just put a date on when 778 Music Group started. But 778 Music Group actually started about 13, 14 years ago. And the way I keep up with it is because that's that was like my son was 1 year old when we actually started. But if I actually want to go further back than that, it started back when I was age 13. And I'm not going to tell you my age because it'll be incriminating.
We don't need to do that. That's not even important. That's not part of the interview. But, you know what I'm saying? You've been working with some of the best artists here in the city, from gospel all the way to R&B to rap. Like, you've put your mark in a lot of different things. And not only that, but you're also a dynamic drummer. So you've done a lot of stage production. Man, your resume is pretty deep.
Well, yeah, but I won't credit that to just my abilities. I credit that to God, first off and foremost. I just been blessed with being in the right place at the right time, and He's blessed me with opportunities that I had to, go ahead and attack and seize for myself. So whatever He put in my path, if it's for me, it's for me.
Absolutely, I get that, man. That makes perfect sense. And you definitely been blessed. And not, it's not about name dropping, but I do want everybody to kind of get an idea of some of the artists you have had your hand working with, or just some production, whatever you play the drums with. Like, man, list them out.
Yeah, I don't like the name dropping. But since you want to know, now, when I first started, the main artist that I produced with and wrote with is my cousin, Cam. If you don't know him, shoot, back in the early 90s, 94, 95, 96, man, me and my cousin, we went hard in the paint, R&B. I could name a list of songs, but we not gonna go there on the name of the songs, but we were killing in the R&B game around here, and then not only from Cam being R&B, but my life changing and his life changing at different points in time, but we ended back up together, and we turned around and started doing gospel music together also.
Right, and Cam has been instrumental in helping change the aspect of gospel music here in the city, so that it has more of that R&B, pop, hip-hop type feel. Most people here in the city, we're used to that whole traditional choir and quartet type style of gospel, and he really changed the game. And now you got people like Sean Johnson, and you got what's my boy out in Tulsa, rapper
Dre Murray.
My bad, bro.
Fidel.
Right.
It's a lot of them, but like I say, just to run the list real quick, like you named Sean Johnson. I work with Sean Johnson, Oklahoma's biggest hip hop group, Christian hip hop group, Exodus. I got an opportunity to work with them. Jay Conway. I'm running down my local is James Willis and New Praise. I've worked with them. Played drums, done some mixing and mastering for them. Dion Robinson.
See, you work with Rob Clay as well.
Yeah, right. And actually, I was going to get to them, running down the list, Rob Clay. And actually, right now, I'm working on Rob and Brittany's new album.
Oh,
wow. Be looking out for that this winter. It's going to be a banger. This is actually since Preachaholics. I worked with Preachaholics since the first time I worked with Preachaholics is when I first met Rob Clay and got the opportunity to work with him. So this right here is actually, in a sense, like my first time really getting back with Rob and really trying to bang out something. In a sense, you know, I feel like Rodney Jerkins and Brandy coming back together.
Hey.
You know, you know,
and that's so true. It's a true statement. And
Jeremy Thomas, jazz artist here, man, phenomenal musician, organ, piano, bass, drums, guitar, you name it, perfect pitch, sees music in colors. God, I'm telling you, if you don't know him, you need to get to know him. Don't just put yourself in a box and just think R&B and hip hop is where it's at. Hey, mingle. This dude Jeremy Thomas is phenomenal. If you need a musician to blast out something on some hip hop tracks, you'll be hearing some stuff coming up that me and Jeremy are working on that has to do with a lot of hip hop and R&B stuff. I also work with B. Les, Soul Williams, Dylan Chase, Aaron Ray, Rosie Turner, Jay Conway, Duo the Sick Prophet. Man,
I'll tell you see this dude's resume,
and that's just local,
right? And that's what I'm talking about. And forgive any artist that he didn't call out because his list is that long. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. But like you said, those were just locally. So what about some of the national recording artists that you've had a chance to work with?
I'm gonna go back local. I don't want to leave out K Praise. I don't want to leave out Calandra, awesome songwriter. Zach Gaddis. Man, I mean, I don't want to leave nobody out. If I left you out, you know, charge it to my head, not my heart, 100%. Because everybody that I've worked with, I love. Net Church. Hey, I tell you this, me and Jeremy Thomas put together Net Church's whole album, produced, mixed, mastered, recorded, all in 27 days.
Amazing.
So, I mean, and if you understand the process behind that, it's crazy. It's crazy. And let me stop, because I would be so wrong if I didn't say my own little sister, Leanne.
Hey.
And she has some hot stuff out right now. And the thing about her, that, I mean, like I say, my list is long, but the thing about her, that's my sister, my blood sister.
Right.
I love her to death. And she came to me last year and said, bruh, I wanna get back into writing. I just want to be a writer. And then I was like, all right, so we got in the studio and just started throwing stuff together, not really, you know, putting the finishing touches on stuff just to get our ideas down. And then she said, I want to be an artist. And I was like, okay, well, let's do this. And then she said, I wanna further my career in music. I want to get out there and really do some things. So she bounced out, went to Full Sail to be a studio recording engineer to get her degree. And that the thing I love about that is she was 1 year away from graduating with her physical therapy degree, and she decided, I want to chase my dream. And that's important. You got to go out and chase your dream. And right now she's doing all kind of shows out in Atlanta,
yeah.
in Florida.
Right.
She just got picked up on the Revolt Music Conference that's going on this next week. She's working that and being a part of that. I mean, it's chase your dreams.
Well, you kind of skipped ahead because we was going to get into that.
Yeah.
But since you went ahead and brought it up, you know, I personally know Leanne, and she's definitely doing a thing. Every time she comes back in the city, she's got a huge following. Her performances are outstanding. I mean, she does superb live shows. She was even I'd seen her perform at the State Fair.
Yeah. She came back. She came back just for that show. She booked that show. Flew in, me, Jeremy, and my buddy Delon. We put together a band, and my little sister Jaleesa choreographed the dance steps with a couple of friends and a cousin, family member. And we got out there and we put it together. We ripped it up.
I'm sure y'all did. I was unable to make it because, of course, I was out of town. But, you know, shouts out to Leanne. I know she's doing a thing. And that just goes to show that the music definitely runs through you guys' blood. You know what I'm saying? And ever since I've known you, you've always put it down. And so now that we've talked about it, so what all did you have? What did you have to do with her project? Did you produce the whole thing?
As far as her project, it's so deep, because music with me, it's not just about this is what people want, to produce it. And at times when life takes over your life, sometimes you're not able to do certain things. But when you say produce, understand, people need to understand production and what producing is really about. It's not just about making a beat. It's about putting a total song together from beginning to end. If she picked the track, let's make sure that we record it the proper way, the proper approach. So if I say produce, yes, I produced it because I arranged a lot of the vocal arrangements and and the things that you hear within the song. I also mix and master. But as far as the track work, with her being in Florida and stuff like that, she would do what a lot of the local artists do. They get online and find tracks and write songs to them. So she got vibe beats on there, and a couple other really dope producers out there that she got some tracks from. And this is her EP. She released an EP, so it's pretty nice. And actually, it's really, really nice. Two of my favorite songs, Y and SNF. And I'm sure a lot of people out there have seen the video of Y and SNF. And she also has a music video for Grinding featuring Underdog.
Yeah, and I actually did buy the album. That's right. I bought the album, got it off of Google. So I just wanted to now get into this national artist thing that who all you've had the opportunity to work with.
I've worked with Floyd Taylor, blues singer, played drums for him. I've played drums for Bashan Mitchell, Malcolm Williams. In high school, I toured and was on the road with the gospel recording artist, local recording artist group, but they're nationals, and that's the Gospel Truthettes. If you've never heard of them, you need to check them out. And actually, they got a new project coming out real soon. Make sure you go check that out, and that's hot. Nationally, I've worked with Walter Anderson from Making the Band, and I'm a spin back around because I left some people out on that local there that helped put me on the map also, so I've got to come back around to that too. And then Walter Anderson from the first series of Making the Band, pretty dope dude. For I can't think of the guy's name, Carter from. That's his last name, Carter. I'm gonna just call him Carter from the Tyler Perry Music Plays. Played drums for him. Also, I produced for Reach Records, Show Baraka, his first album. Mixed and mastered that, recorded it. Worked with Tadashi, played drums on the road with Tadashi and Show Baraka. I produced for Lecrae, played drums on the road with Lecrae. I've worked with Triple E, KJ52. Man, the list, like the R&B group, Loose Ends, I toured with them for a good minute. So I mean, I've done a lot. The list is long, and then sometimes when I think about it, I may sit back and feel like I haven't really done anything. But when it's talking about making it isn't about the money. It's about being able to do the things that you love and you really enjoy, things that make you happy.
Absolutely. And I mean, that was the whole point is, I just really wanted to show a lot of people, how blessed you've been in just your career up until this point. So what's next for you?
What's next for me is basically not reinventing the wheel, but putting new tires on the wheel.
Okay.
Like this video right here, like people probably see this when it airs and be like, who is this cat? There's a whole new slew of cats here locally in the city that don't even know who I am.
Absolutely.
And that's because life happened, and I went into a little cave and chilled out and only worked with certain artists around here. And so now I'm back out ready to get back out there on the scene. I got a couple of projects that I plan on doing, some EPs that be out on the look for real soon. And when I say when you hear it, you're gonna be like, okay, this dude is serious.
What do you think the state of the music game is right now? What's your opinion about it? Because I mean, you look at when you produce, your instrumentation is big. You know what I'm saying? And the things that you do musically, it's not a 5-minute process for you to produce. You know what I'm saying? You might start something and come back to it. You know what I'm saying? Your production is big. Like you said, production is not just about beat making, it's the whole process. And so, you know, nowadays people can pick up something and, you know, within 5-10 minutes have a song and it blows up. You know what I'm saying? So what is your opinion about the way the music game is going now?
I say truthfully, back in the day, like I would knock that. I would knock the Fruity Loop producers all the time, the Fruity Loop beat makers, but music is an art. And if we both paint an apple on a canvas, how can I tell you that your apple has to be circle? Your apple could be square. So when I look at it, that's your canvas. So the producers that are out here doing stuff that people be like, man, that's whack. You know what? The thing is that's what they seen. And you can't tell me my vision if you're not seeing it through my eyes. And so you have to respect the things that everybody does. Yeah, I'll be honest, at times there's a lack of musicianship in music today. But I always look back and I listen to some of the stuff back in the day. There are some groups that were cookie cutter. Even amongst all the musicianship, you still had cookie cutters then and you still have cookie cutters now. Everybody has their place in this. It's wide open.
Oh, and I get that. I respect anybody that's doing anything. I don't have anything negative to say about, you know, anybody that's doing their thing. I just think that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times now that it is so easy, the ones that do put in the extra work to make their production bigger with more of the musicianship, then it's almost lost. I mean, you look at the state of R&B. What real R&B artists right now are out?
Well, what's R&B?
Right.
Yeah, R&B is really falling by the wayside. Man. But truthfully, hip hop is so freaking strong right now that, I mean, hip hop has crossed all kind of, you know what I'm saying, all kind of lines. You know
right, because you got the rappers they throw a little auto-tune on and
go. Right. But the thing is I look at it like this. If you're an R&B artist, like I love R&B, I will never stop making R&B music. And the thing is as those young kids get older, guess who they begin to listen to? I'll tell you this right now. I've noticed here recently, you know, I have a 14-year-old son, Quinlan Ganther, a baller, quarterback, Carl Albert Middle School.
Beast.
Be looking out for him. But he listens to all the hip hop. But when it comes down to it and he really wants to listen to good music, he doesn't go to Chris Brown. And that's no knock against Chris Brown, because Chris Brown can sing. He's one of those artists that can sing. But he loves Lionel Richie, he loves Marvin Gaye, he loves Otis Redding, Sam Cooke. Like, even though we listen to NWA and all this hip hop music, the older we got, we reverted back to those things. And as you grow out of it, R&B is an adult music. You know, that's why Joe is still able to do his thing. That's why Brian McKnight is still out there doing his thing. Because the older you get, you fall out of love with what the world is attracted to. And so your mindset changes. So there's still people there that's still making good R&B music. Well, you can go out and listen to.
I'm looking at even just Tyrese's last album, Black Rose. It was ridiculous. The process that he did, when I bought the album, I got the deluxe album because I wanted to see the documentary. And I mean, these guys took a trip and he brought in a host of producers, a host of songwriters, and basically told them, I'm paying for everything. Y'all don't need to leave here. If you need to talk to your families, you can get on Skype or whatever you need to do. But as far as that, we're going to sit 30 days and just work on this project. And it was amazing to see so many talented R&B singers, so many talented songwriters, these top producers, and just people that have influenced him over the time, being that this was his last supposedly recorded solo project. You know what I'm saying? It was just epic to see. It just really made you excited for R&B again. And the project is nice itself, but you know.
But it doesn't get any buzz because hip hop is taking over.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And and as an adult, we appreciate that because of our age and where we're at in our life. You know what I'm saying? Everything isn't always about popping bottles and getting hoes and so forth and so on. So one person that I really respect, and when we say the state of R&B and where music is going, and I love his approach, Ryan Leslie, man, he's doing some crazy stuff.
That dude is ridiculously talented, and not only that, I mean,
business savvy.
Right, and the way that he reaches out, because I think there's like something you can pay like $12 a month and follow him, and he helps local artists. Like, he does a lot, and he gives back, and he, like you said, he's still doing his thing.
Right, and that's the thing that's important. I say the state of R&B, hip hop, and I'm just going to revert this back to Oklahoma right now, because there's a lack of creativity, there's a lack of originality, especially when it comes to R&B. I love we have a lot of great singers out here singing in the clubs, but you know, I want to push and challenge every artist that has club gigs to create an original project, even if it's just a 5-song EP, 6-song EP, because that's what's going to grow our city. That's what's going to grow the music around here. That's what's going to make people love you for who you are, and not because you sing Erykah Badu great, or not because you sing Michael Jackson so good. And you know, and then when you do something original, they don't want to hear it. So I challenge every singer that is getting these club gigs. You know what I'm saying? I love every single last one of you, and every single last one of you are honestly dope. You know who I'm talking to. I love y'all, 100%. I got your back. I challenge y'all to do that, because I want people to love you for who you are and not for who you mimic or how you sing a rendition of their song. And that's the thing. There's a lack of culture in the R&B scene around here that we have to reach out and get back. You know, so. But yeah, like I said, Ryan Leslie, man, he's just doing some stuff that just amazes me and wows me, and people are sleeping on him. You know what I'm saying? But that boy is still eating, and that's what it's about. It's not about that platinum plaque anymore. It's about making a living. If you can make a living doing what you love and enjoy, and guess what? You've arrived.
Speaking of that, what are your goals? Like, what are you trying to accomplish now?
Do you want me to be honest?
I want you to be completely honest. That's what it's about. Check me out.
To be honest, my music at this point in time is one of the loves of my life. But I have a 14-year-old son. You've heard my track record. You heard the list. I've toured. I've been on the road as a drummer playing. I've worked with major guys. I've been in the room with Trey Songz and kicked it with, you know, a lot of major names. 112, Drew Hill, and these are people that I'm leaving. I left off the list earlier. You know, I've dealt with those guys. You know what I'm saying, on a consistent basis. My son is 14 now. And it's important that black men raise their kids and teach them how to go after their dreams. Even though I never became the millionaire that I really wanted to become, I was successful. I've been nominated for Stella Awards. I've been nominated for a Dove Award. So, I mean, there's so much more to life than just trying to be rich and famous. Now that I've had those opportunities, now it's time for me to stand behind my son and back him and show him that somebody has his back, somebody supports him, somebody is wanting to push him to be great in whatever it is that he wants to be. But in the midst of that, that's not saying that I'm leaving my love behind. I'm still going to work on it, but it's more of a love and a hobby, and not just, I mean, it's hard to say a hobby because I love it so much. It's not just a hobby. I mean, I wouldn't spend the type of time and the money on equipment and the things that I do if it was really just this hobby. But as I grow older, my directions in life have changed. I've done those things. And so now there's somebody in my life that needs me more than music needs me.
And there you have it, man. That's huge. Is he interested at all in music?
Man, let me tell you this. This dude, he can play drums, and this dude can sing. And when I say sing, this dude can sing. I mean, you can put him with the best. He's going to harmonize with the best. He has everything there. He can sing, he can dance, but it's not his love. And that's the thing that, as a dad, that was tough for me for a second there. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I bought him his first drum set, and he couldn't even walk. You know what I'm saying? I got a bass guitar in here that I bought for him. He couldn't even hold it up. Guitars, I bought all that stuff. But the thing is where his heart fell, that's where his heart is. Now, one thing he has been doing here lately, every now and then he'll come down here and he'll mess around and try to make a beat or something like that. And I told him if he ever gets serious, guess what? I'm going to be on his butt and we're going to push through this thing. You're going to be the best that you can possibly be.
Right. And that's so funny you say that because my son is the same way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Deuce, you know what I'm saying? This dude is the best drummer that I know. This dude is very talented. By far surpassed Dad, running circles around me. You know what I'm saying? And that was the kind of the thing when he was younger. I mean, the first time I ever recorded him, he was 5 years old. And you know what I'm saying? And he at one time was like, all right, I want to do my own project. And then he was just like, I want to do it. And I'm like, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He's doing his basketball thing. He's playing football right now. So, whatever.
It's rough. Sometimes it's rough because I'm like, dude, you have what I didn't have when I was your age. You could walk into a nice studio and go ham, and and be the Don. But like I said, he has another love and another passion, and I'm going to support him in whatever he decides he wants to do. If he decides he wants to be a chef, guess what? Me and him going to be cooking every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm gonna pick him up from school. We're gonna come home, cook lunch. I'll take him back to school. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be on him. We're not, mediocrity does not sit well in our life. Mediocrity, we don't even know what that means. We're going to be the best at everything that we can, possibly. We're going to be the best. I'm going to be the best Reggie Ganther I can be. He's going to be the best Quentin Ganther he can be. I'm not trying to be Dr. Dre. I'm not trying to be Kanye. I'm not trying to be anybody else. I'm trying to be me. So, and that's one thing, like, with my production is, like, a lot of guys change with the times. I can do trap. I can do pop, all the stuff that's going on right. I can do it all. But what I feel, if you're looking for my sound, come holler at me. You know what I'm saying?
How can they reach you?
You can reach me at 405-819-7724, 405-819-7724. Or you can email me at 778 Music Group. That's 778 numerical numbers. Music Group, the way it's spelled, the way it sounds, at gmail.com.
That's what's up. So you've been producing and you've been behind the boards, but are you ever going to get behind that mic?
I've actually been behind the mic. People just don't know. I've sung some backgrounds on some stuff. I do some overdubs and some hooks for people, so, I'm not just sitting on this side all the time, but I don't know about as an artist, let me be honest, because we said we're being honest, right?
Honest.
I'm dope. So when y'all cats start falling asleep, watch out. Because I might come out the woodworks on you.
I bet you got a bunch of tracks in there that if you just hit a button, it would just release right now.
Oh yeah. I got some stuff that gets me going, but you know what I'm saying, I try to keep it tame.
So man, what's coming up for 2016?
Well, for 2016, my goal is to touch as many local artists as I possibly can. I'm not big on just trying to reach the masses as far as get national, but if I can touch and bless the locals around here, that's where the love starts. So if I can start here, then it'll continue to spread. So if you have a project coming up and you're looking for some production, when I say touch, I don't have to produce for you. I would love to engineer for you. I would love to mix for you. It doesn't matter, any of it. If you need a drummer to jump on a track, I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? I just want to grace as many projects this up and coming year as possible. I also, for 2016, my goal is we're going to release some Thomas Street projects with Jeremy Thomas, and we're going to also be working on a new Jeremy Thomas solo project, also jazz artist. And if you don't know me, like back in the day, I had so many aliases. Like, you know, most cats got one producer name. When I first started, I tried to make 778 feel like it was big as all get out. So I had like 4 or 5 different producer names.
Bobby Taylor.
Bobby Taylor's one. Duke LaRue is one. Red is one. Sticks is one. Choir Boy is another. I mean, I had all these names, and so like when people would call my phone when they seen on Show Baraka's album, each song I gave almost a different producer name, but they were all from 778 Music Group. I had people calling like, can I speak to Bobby Taylor with 778 Music Group? I'm like, hold please. when nobody's knowing, and I get on the phone, hello, this is Bobby Taylor, can I help you? And, and then they would leave a message for Red, or they'll leave a message for Sticks, and then I call them back, and so it made it seem like the company was big.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to make the brand grow.
Hey, it actually worked a lot. Worked pretty well. But then there's 2 aliases that I still hold dear to. One is Bobby Taylor, and the other is Duke LaRue. And nobody knows who Duke LaRue is. Duke LaRue, just be prepared. And I'm in the battle of putting out a Duke LaRue project and then a Bobby Taylor project. And they both have 2 different styles of production. And so the Duke LaRue projects that I'm possibly putting out the EPs will be called Showbiz. And then the Duke LaRue 778 Music Group presents Duke LaRue Showbiz. And then the Bobby Taylor ones will actually be 778 Music Group presents Bobby Taylor Hollywood Shuffle. If you don't know who Bobby Taylor is Robert Townsend in the movie Hollywood Shuffle, and that was his character in that movie. And I took on that name because that it was close to my life. Within that movie, Bobby Taylor, which is Robert Townsend, he was seeking stardom as an actor, and back in the day at that time, the only roles they held for black actors were pimps and slaves and gangsters and stuff like that in the movies. And so in order to make it, he was trying to make it, and so he would sell out, to the world and become a pimp just to try to get on film. And every time he did that, he would never get to where he was trying to get to until the end of the movie, and he decided not to do those things, and he turned back around and took a lesser role, not degrading black people in a sense, and then that's the moment he became successful. And whenever I apply that to my life, I apply it to, truthfully, there was a time in my life where, man, me and Cam, we were after the dollar, we were after the fame, the fortune, tough. God came into my life and changed my life completely. I went to Cam. He hadn't touched Cam yet. Cam was still doing his thing, and then I became that Bible beating cat. And I was like, Cam, you going to hell for doing this R&B music, boy. You going to hell. And then, and Cam was like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. And then Cam got married, moved overseas, and because me and Cam were so close, and our lives took a different turn at different times, when Cam left, there was a void missing in my life. And me and Cam rode so tight together that even within my walk with Christ, I started slipping away because I didn't have like my best friend there, my cousin that had always been there with me no matter what. Cam comes back from Germany because his wife was in the military. When he comes back from Germany, Cam has given his life over to Christ and accepting his calling, and I had kind of backslid. And Cam then started speaking into my life, and we said, yo, let's do this for Christ. Let's do this for God. And once we started doing that, and truthfully, once we started doing that, those are the moments when you seen everything start to blossom. You know, Cam's, I believe it was his sophomore album, Platform, was number 3 in Jet magazine. It was on the early nomination list for a Grammy. Everything just started just blossoming. Like everything came out the woodworks. Having an opportunity to work with Show Baraka Lecrae, everything in it. And so Bobby Taylor became, it's like once I stopped chasing that American dream, that dollar, and gave my life to God and started being humble about things, he opened up doors that I couldn't have opened by myself. So that's who Bobby Taylor is. And that's why I took on that name, that producer name. I love it dearly. And Duke LaRue is a drummer. And the crazy thing about it, you know, everybody has these characters. And since I'm a drummer, you've been to Showbiz Pizza, right?
Absolutely.
Chuck E. Cheese, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the band is still the same, right?
That's right.
Nobody knows the band's name.
No.
The drummer is a dog. His name is Duke LaRue. So that's where Duke LaRue came from. Because I was a, Showbiz Pizza kid, a drummer, and I was just like, I love the dog. He gets down on that kid, you know what I'm saying? So, that's where that name came from. So Duke LaRue, the Duke LaRue projects will be called Showbiz, and they'll be set up in volumes. There'll be EPs. The same thing with the Bobby Taylor. Hollywood Shuffles will be set up in EPs. And the way the EPs will work is I'm hoping I can get with Ahmad right here and Ace Kennedy. I don't know what name he's going by today. I don't know if he's jumped out the phone booth or not. Because when he ain't in the phone booth, he's Ahmad. You know what I'm saying? He jump in the phone booth, come back out, he's Ace Kennedy. Okay, so Ace Kennedy, you know what I'm saying? 5-song EPs. It'll be, if it's Duke LaRue, it'll be 778 Music Group presents Duke LaRue, Showbiz, featuring Ace Kennedy. I got my boy out there, D. Pugh, Bobby Taylor, 778 Music Group presents Bobby Taylor, Showbiz, Hollywood Shuffle, Volume 1, featuring D. Pugh, Conway. I mean, there's a lot of artists, DZ, Fresh. There's a lot of guys out here that, Millie Mesh, she's a dope MC. There's a lot of MCs and R&B singers out there that I want to be able to touch and work with, and hopefully I can do those EPs. I'll produce all 5 songs, and it's just gonna be a thing where we get together, collab, and put these EPs out and try to flood the market. And 778, like I said, I plan on working with as many people. Hopefully, JB, I want to get with JB, Cooley. I want to get with Cooley and do some stuff. My boy Sean Kirk, I plan on getting with him doing some stuff. Sean Kirk, he go back, and that's the thing. I wanted to go back because I didn't want to leave out one of the groups that really, really, really put me on the map. A group that Ace Kennedy was a part of in the get-go, was meant to be. So I give them a lot, because when we first met, it was on the cracking. It was on the cracking. We did a lot together. We did a whole lot together. So we came up in this game together. We may have went separate ways,
right,
but we're still boys, and we know where we came from.
Shouts out to Meant to Be. And bro, your 2016 sounds very busy. So for anybody that's up and coming, trying to start producing or making beats or even production, what advice would you give them?
The advice, if you want to be a producer, this is my advice to any producer. Learn how to play an instrument. And when I say learn how to play an instrument, a melodic instrument. And with this day and age, the way music is, the first melodic instrument that I feel like any producer nowadays needs to learn how to play is keys. Piano or guitar. But piano, because most people are doing computer-based stuff, and it's, you know, you can get all your sounds, you can play your guitar on the keyboards or whatever, but don't just play by ear. Invest in the gift, invest in the talent, you know what I'm saying? Because talent without works, and it's just like the Word of God says, faith without works is dead. In sports, they say the talent without work doesn't beat, you know what I'm saying, someone with less talent that works hard. So if you have the talent, go find somebody, get piano lessons, learn music theory, put yourself in a good situation. Don't get yourself stuck to where if I came in with a song and I started singing it to you, you don't even know what key to go to. You couldn't play along with me. I think producers need to be more like church musicians. When I walk in and start singing a hymn, you should be able to pick it up. And that's how producers need to be nowadays. So if you're planning on being a producer, learn, like I said, I'm going to just leave it at the keys. Piano. Take piano lessons. It may seem long and tedious as you learn, but in the long run, it will pay off. In the long run, it'll pay off. Because I've also had a lot of guys come to me and ask me, because I done music full time for 12 years straight before I, got a job for the government, but solely music. And there's guys that come to me and say, "Yo, Reggie, man, how did you do it? How did you how were you able to do music full time?" The way I was able to do music full time is because I'm not stuck in one lane. If you're a producer, majority of times all you can do is produce, especially I'm gonna say a basic beat maker, like we have a lot of those going on today. If nobody's buying your beats, you're not making no money.
True.
So if you get out there and you learn how to play keys, and you may not be in the faith, you may not be saved, you may not be a Christian, you may not go to church, but if you produce and you do believe in God, and you think you need to go to church, you can go to church and be a church musician, and serve God, make money playing at the church to bring in cash flow when things are short, and then also you can start a band, and you can play in bands and make extra money on the side that way. So you want to have different ways that you can bring a financial blessing into your life, not just one. I can produce, I can engineer, I can play drums. So throughout all those, when one was up and the others were down, I was still making money. When that one was down and the other was up, I was still making money. So I challenge every producer out there to go take lessons. Go take lessons, and don't just stop because you feel like you're good enough. Be great at what you do. Rodney Jerkins is great, and he's not stuck only producing for R&B and hip-hop artists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ryan Leslie is great. He's not just producing for hip-hop and R&B artists. That's the type of producer you want to be. You don't want to come up towards something and then there's this big old wall that you can't climb over because you didn't prepare yourself for it when you started.
That's huge. So we were to jump in your truck right now. Who are you listening to?
The wind. The wind. Be honest. Man, and people think it's crazy because I'm in the studio all the time, mixing, recording, mastering. And when I get in my car, I don't really want to hear anything.
Right. Just space to breathe.
Yeah, so it's a you know what I'm saying? I feel like, in a sense, that's one thing that keeps me, is because I don't stay on top of all the music that is out. So my sound stays my sound, or things that I do, in which, like I said, my sound, there's somebody else out there doing it possibly, you know what I'm saying? But I don't get sucked into everything that's going on. I don't want to be that copycat guy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want, if I'm working with Jay-Z, or if I'm working with 2 Chainz, and you got all this trap music, and then that one song that comes on, it sticks out almost like a sore thumb because you're like, dang, that's different. You know, you want to be a Timberland, you
Right.
want to be a Rodney Jerkins, you want to be a Just Blaze. Those guys, they don't follow the trend, they set trends. And so when you hear them produce something, you know it's them. Have a trademark. And I know there's nothing new under the sun, but don't just follow what everybody's doing just to make that dollar. Right.
You keep up with Empire?
You know what? I watched the whole first season, and since my son's been playing football, matter of fact, this season I hadn't watched any of them because I got them recorded. But the first night it came on, we were performing at the State Fair with my little sister. So we missed the first episode. So it's recorded. And then I had something going on the second episode also. So I recorded it. So is the third one already aired? Yeah. I got it recorded. And I still haven't watched it because I don't want to watch it till I go back to the first one and then watch them all the way through. So, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Empire. I think Empire is really dope.
Yeah, it's good for music, and it's definitely good just for for black actors to be on mainstream TV. So
most definitely,
it's awesome. And I love how they're bringing all the old relationships with Taraji P and what's old boy name? Lucius.
Lucius, yeah.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard, yeah.
But man, is there anything else you want to leave with the people?
I would say be on the lookout for Conway's album. It comes out, the album releases, well, this may not be out, but the album releases this Friday. And they have the album release party, I think it's at the Paramount. Or so there's a new place called the Paramount. Like I say, I'm not completely out of the loop with some of these new places. But I believe it's the Paramount. They're having an album release party. Jim Conway, dope MC. Be on the lookout for Robin Brittany's album. I'm working on that. Be on the lookout for more Leanne. Be on the lookout for the Duke LaRue and the Bobby Taylor projects. Be on the lookout for 778 Music Group as a whole because you're going to see our name on a lot of stuff this up and coming year. And a lot of gospel stuff I got coming out. Unique 4, Be Less, be looking out for Be Less. I don't want to leave him out of the loop. D Pew, be looking out for D Pew. He's out there. Hot MC. Man, people are sleeping in Oklahoma. It's time to wake some people up. And I just want the people, please start supporting. Don't wait till that person becomes famous to support them. And then when you try to start supporting them, then at that moment, then they look at you like, whatever, man. And then you want to call them bougie or they think they are lad or something like that. Well, that's because when they weren't successful, you gave them no play, you gave them no support. When they do move up, the food chain, now you want to jock them. So that's that crab in the bucket thing that people are seeing, and when they turn to them, man, so now you telling this dude that he ain't all that or whatever, blah blah blah. You want to tear him down, but support him now. It's good music. The music that Oklahoma is putting out is just as good as the Chris Browns, just as good as the 2 Chainz, just as good as the J. Cole's and the Jay-Z's and the Kanye's. We have some good artists here. Bump them, support them. I just came back from Texas. They bump local music like it's nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how they become famous. And it's not about, like I said, not about being a millionaire, but hey, being a local celebrity is just like having a part-time job. You can make $30,000, $40,000 a year the same way most people are making on their jobs, $30,000 to $40,000 a year doing music. But it takes people to support. It takes us to support. Let's put Oklahoma on the map.
Absolutely, man. I'm with that, and we will be doing music. I'm working on the new project now, so I got to get some of that 778 on there. But brother, I definitely appreciate you sitting down with me. I'm definitely glad that we got to do this so the people can get to know Reggie Ganther, 778 Music Group, and your entire movement. People get to know your resume. And this is Ace Kennedy. This is Reggie Ganther. Check me out.